current news and relevant features. That's why The Plain Dealer is the morning paper you want to read all day.
You are listening to the KUWU Broadcasting Network, Cleveland, Akron, and most of the lower 48, where you as a member make the difference.
KUWU's broadcast of baseball is made possible in part by the Pasadena at the Plaza Cleaners, with 24 locations throughout the Northeast Ohio and Alaska. Dry cleaning, laundry service, insurance and alterations are all 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And grandmother approved.
Corporate funding for baseball is provided by GYN Motors. On behalf of the men and women of GYN, proud to bring you the celebration of the American experience and television broadcasting entertainment at its finest.
Major funding is also provided by the National Endowment for Socrates, which supports scholarships, research, education and public broadcasting programs. The Zane Marsh Charitable Trust, the Gage Mining Davis Foundation, the Corporation of Open Broadcasting, and biannual financial trust from viewers like you.
You see, rock and roll isn't a career or hobby, it's a life force. It's something very essential. Let us leave this place for a while and get some new air in our lungs. Let us leave our tiny rooms. The act of rock and roll is glorious. Danny Toolman.
Mother Earth, 1955. A man named Joe Hercules Swellen was gifted an electrical guitar on Armistice Day in a small town in the Alaskan wilderness. Many knew the town by Pig's Inn, because of the pigs that once ate their fill there, and the stench that still lived in the air. He had dreamt, eventually, to build a band with other musicians he had imagined but never seen. He would call the band, or just after the way a raindrop flows down a blade of grass in high elevation climates. In 1956 the band had formed. By the time it had been completed, the band changed into a household name and the best band to ever exist in the world, where some of music's greatest drama would take place. In the years to come, fans would see more bad times than good but hardly even care. Listen to the heartfelt Alaskan cadences of Joe Hercules Swellen as he plucked his steel strings and witnessed firsthand music's finest moment when took stage and played live at the Titanic shipwreck in 1960 after years of hard work and dedication. Would finally get signed to Horoscope Records, only to know the ultimate heartbreak of leaving Alaska for the lower 48, thousands of miles away, leaving an empty shell in Pig's Inn and even an emptier spot in the souls of the rural Alaskan fans.
Well now, you've heard the Jailhouse Rock, you've heard Tutti Frutti. Now get ready for the hottest acts in sliced bread. This is their latest hit, Catch a Can.
Bleachers, session bases, cotton band, catch a can,
On October 5th, 1960, released the first single, Catch a Can, and it climbed all the way to number 99 on the charts. In February of 1961, they recorded their first album in 3 sessions totaling 264 hours, called Back to Alaska. In November, they released their second single, Little Man If You Can, and it reaches number 1 on the Bulldog charts, and in May the album reaches the top spot. They continue to release hit after hit like Alaska's Back, Little Man, Little Plan, and I Want My Little Man. In October, they play underwater. And for the very first time, the term "solid junkie" is used to describe the fans' hysteria. In November, they give a royal performance for the Queen of Thailand. When Joe Hercules says his famous quote, "God save the Queen, I'll hail the little man in my head instead." At the end of 1964, the band would leave on their crusade across the globe on a 10-year world tour.
This is when the voices in Joe's head got louder and louder. What the band thought at first was just artistic expression was a pot about to overboil. The so-called little man in his head was starting to run his life. Day after day after day, touring the globe.
Their first world tour would find them spiraling. Serbia, Usk Park, Slovakia, Ondrej Nebelia Arena, Steel Arena.
Back in Alaska, over the hills of light, doesn't make any sound. Over in the hills of Alaska, land orange and blue, it's the color I see in you, reminding the gold it's true. Rotary tube, rotary tube.
Slovenia, Tivoli Hall, Arena Strojek, Arena Strojek, Luzbiaj, Hippodrome. Spain, Razzmatazz, L'Auditoria, Palau de la Música Catalana, Barcelona Teatre Musical. The pressure could make a young man weep.
Going down the sluice box, going out to catch a can. I hope you pick me up. And a new kind of land.
Algeria, Salle de Sports de Algiers. Angola, Paveao Mudisusos do Calemba and Estadio da Cidadela. Egypt, Borg El Arab Stadium, the Covered Hall, Cairo International Stadium, and Space Charm. Libya, Tripoli Stadium. Morocco, Stade Mohammed V. Fez Stadium, Stade de Marrakech. And a glacier of magnificent size crumbled to simple ice cubes. Arena after arena, they sought out the yearning crowds, the huddled masses yearning to break free. Arena after arena after arena, and the band would bring them a magnificent gift. The freedom of a new sound. The freedom of an altogether new sound. Peace on earth, goodwill towards humankind.
The higher you get, the harder you fall. The higher you get, the harder you fall. There's a little man, there's a living man, there's a little man living on.
The are rock and roll.
An institution pure and simple.
Modernism, romanticism and f***ism.
The so-called greatest rock band ever.
They were the original Bad Children.
As a child, I can actually remember my parents saying to me, "You don't want to end up like that."
led by a gifted musician already on the path of destruction.
He wanted to be a leader, but he couldn't get this idea of the little man out of his head. It just kept growing stronger.
At the forefront of a global rebellion,
The cops moved in and arrested everyone in the whole arena for drugs.
they transformed every music genre.
Those keyboard lines are the basis of every rock song ever.
This program on KUWU is brought to you in part by the Alaska Miners Association, promoting and advocating for responsible mineral development. The mission of the Alaska Miners Association AMA is to advocate for and promote responsible mineral development in our state of Alaska. And we are happy to congratulate the Fort Knox mine on receiving their first Alaska Miners Association Gold Star for their extreme attention to the almost responsible mineral development.
The Fort Knox mine is located within the Fairbanks North Star Borough, 25 miles northeast of Fairbanks. The mine site is located primarily on state of Alaska and the Mental Health Trust lands. The mine is wholly owned by Kinross Gold Corporation. The mine opened in 1996 and in 2019 dumped 200,263 troy ounces of gold. Fort Knox is an open pit operation using carbon and pulp, heap leach, and gravity processes to recover gold. At the end of 2015, there were reserves of 162 million tons, a 0.012 ounce of gold per ton, sufficient to carry the mine plan into year 2020 within a total identified resource of 284 million tons at a 0.013 ounce per ton, containing 1,900,000 troy ounces of, you guessed it, gold. Total 2015 employment at Fort Knox was 657 full-time equivalent positions.
KUWU's Biography on Tap comes from Deep Space, the new podcast from GYM Motors Podcast Theater, in the Pasadena at the Plaza Cleaners. Linguistics fail as a team of cryptozoologists deacon a message reportedly received from outer space 32 years ago. KUWU's Biography on Tap is produced by Robert M. Wolfe, Zane Andy Marsh, and with help from MoldMap. Thanks to a high-level research and fact-checking by our administrative support team. Music provided by MoldMap, Jason Shaw over at audionautics.com, and free PD through a Creative Commons agreement. Some instruments played by Mark Lee, who provided additional emotional support. Special thanks to Open Source LLC, the company that made this possible, and Martin Salinas, who codes everything for us. Support for KUWU's Biography on Tap comes from viewers like you. KUWU Open Broadcasting, Open Source LLC, the team over at Avian Paragraph, and MoldMap are proud members of Mother Earth. See you next time.